Hi everyone, this is Amy from Alpha Budgets. We have offered for 15 years to MBA applicants, MBA consulting and career consulting. So today we have an advisor from Goldman Sachs to Wharton, and he will speak about MBA admissions for MBA acceptance for a global MBA, and also recently we have a lot of applicants who come to Japan and got an MBA in Japan. So for MBA acceptance consulting offer now, we are offering free consultation at first, and please come to our website and press free consultation button. So today we have an advisor with Wharton MBA, and I would like to ask his background and career. So B, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Saka-san.
Yes. So at first, could you introduce yourself?
Okay. It's a bit long story, but let me start from
please.
India. So I come from India, from a middle-class family. And I always wanted to go overseas to study because no one in my family had been overseas. So there was this fascination of going abroad and studying abroad. So when I was graduating from my high school, I came across this opportunity of scholarships from the Japanese government. And before that, I was also interested in studying electronics at that time and physics at that time. So I was thinking of going to Germany or going to the US. But I was also thinking of Japan because Japan was very famous for electronics and physics at that time. I mean, even now. But the thing was, because as I said, I came from a middle-class family, sponsoring myself to go to the US or Germany was a bit difficult. And it was at this time when I came across a scholarship from the government of Japan called Next Scholarship. So I gave the exam, I gave the interview, I passed it, and I was able to receive the scholarship. So I decided to come to Japan. And at that time, I had no idea of Japanese language or Japanese culture, but this fascination of going abroad just, it made my decision easier to go to Japan. And that's how I landed up in Japan. And the scholarship program actually included a 1-year Japanese language course. And after you finish that course, you can then go to one of the universities to study your favorite subject in Japan. And in my case, it was electronics and physics. So I learned Japanese for 1 year at the University of Tokyo. And then I went to Osaka University for my engineering. And let me also tell you how I chose Osaka University. I have made most of my career decisions by people. So it's funny, when I was going to Osaka for my interview after the entrance exam, I met an old lady in the train, and she started asking me, "Oh, your eyes are very beautiful. Where did you come from?" And I told her that I'm from India. I'm going for my interview at the University of Osaka. And she told me, "Oh, my grandson also studied in Osaka University. So please become friends with my grandson." And it just attracted me to the city of Osaka. And I thought the people in Osaka were really nice. And it made my decision easier to choose Osaka University as the place to study my engineering. So that's how my studies started in Japan. And after that, I decided to go for the master's degree as well. And I had the option of staying at Osaka University or going to the University of Tokyo. I chose University of Tokyo because of mainly one reason. that when you're looking for a job, a lot of the headquarters of most of the companies in Japan are in Tokyo. So I thought it will be easier for me to do job hunting if I'm in Tokyo. So that was the reason I went to University of Tokyo more than the brand of the university. Saga-san, so let me also tell you about my career.
Yeah, thank you. So next is your career history.
Yes. So as I said, I have made most of my decisions based on people. So during job hunting, I was looking at all the industries because I didn't have a good idea of what I wanted to do. Engineering was one option, but during the financial crisis of 2008, I started reading more news about finance. It intrigued me. So I started learning a bit about finance. And in fact, in my second year of master's degree at the University of Tokyo, I did a research in finance also for 1 year. And during job hunting, I met some people from some of the largest investment banks in the world, some consulting companies. And there was one person at Goldman Sachs. He was from Kansai area. He was from engineering background. And I was talking with him and asking him, like, is it possible for me, coming from an engineering background, to go into an investment bank? Is there anything I can contribute to the company? And he took his time and he very nicely explained to me how engineering background students can also contribute in the field of finance. And I really like that person for taking time out for me and explaining me very nicely about what investment banks do and how I can contribute. So I just decided that I want to join his team. So I applied for a job in Goldman Sachs in that person's team. And I was lucky enough to pass all the interviews, and I finally ended up in that person's team. So that's how my career started at Goldman Sachs Asset Management. And I stayed 2 years here in Tokyo with Goldman. And then I wanted to just experience some global office. As you know, Goldman Sachs is a very international company. So I thought, like, why not take this opportunity to have some global experience as well? And that led me to the Goldman's London office, where I stayed for 1.5 years. And Saga-san, let me also explain to you, this was the time when I decided that I want to be in asset management industry front office, which I'm doing right now. So at Goldman, we used to do some volunteer work 1 or 2 times a year. And when I was in London, I met some fund managers in one of my volunteer days. And they explained to me what they do. And it really, I really thought it's a very interesting career and it also contributes to the society. And in some other video, some other time, I can also explain how asset management industry contributes to the betterment of the society. But I thought this is one of the careers that I would like to pursue. But I didn't have a lot of background knowledge, the basic knowledge of the asset management industry. I mean, the front office, fund management jobs. So I started doing some research. I started watching, I started with YouTube videos of some of the good investors from the US, some of the good and famous investors from India. I started reading some investment books. That's how I got interested in asset management, fund management area of this finance industry. But also, I wanted a career change. And not a lot of companies were giving me the interviews because I didn't have the background in the fund management business. So I decided that I want to make a career change. And this is the time I decided that I want to go for an MBA also. So this also answers your second question. What made you go for an MBA? I wanted to make a career change. That's very basic answer to this question. And at the same time, because US MBAs are 2 years long, it also gives you an opportunity to do internships. So you can do an internship and try out different things and have an experience of the industries that you want to get into to make sure you are now getting into the right industry. Okay, so that's how I decided I want to go to an MBA. But also by that time, I only had like 3 or 3.5 years of experience. So I thought I wanted to polish my resume before applying for an MBA. So I decided to get into consulting before going to an MBA. I did consulting for 2 years in Japan before going into an MBA program in the US. And why I chose consulting? One, frankly speaking, it looks good on your resume. So that was the easy answer. But second answer was, if you're getting into fund industry, evaluating the quality of management is very important. And I thought if I go to consulting, if I work with the management of the companies, I can understand what they think, how they think, how they operate, how they manage the company. And that will give me a very good experience of evaluating the quality of management when I get into management. So I chose for consulting, and I did consulting for 2 years, and then I applied for the US MBAs. Then I went to Wharton.
Thank you. So about the MBA application process,
Yes.
what made you decide apply for Wharton, or did you apply for the other schools?
Yes, Akasan, definitely. So as I said, my industry was kind of decided what I wanted to do. But at the same time, when you're going into MBA, you have some doubts. So I was sure that I want to go into finance. And I was sure that I wanted to go in one of the top schools in the world for an MBA. And second thing is culture is very important for me. As I said, I have made most of the decisions in my life based on people. So culture of the school was very important for me, as I was going to spend 2 years of my life. So I spent a lot of time doing research on the culture of the school. So I talked with several people of the top 3 schools just to make sure which culture fits with me. And I did not go to US to check out the campus because I thought it was a bit too time consuming. But if students have time and money and other resources, I would definitely recommend to go to the campuses and feel the feel of the campus and the culture of the university. So I did a lot of research, talked with a lot of students. And as I said, like I was interested only in the top 3 schools. So finance, culture, and the size of the university was also important for me, because I thought if you're spending so much time, if you're spending so much money for your MBA, networking is very important, and networking definitely helps you in your future. So the size of the school also became an important part for me in deciding the schools. So finally, for me specifically, it came down to either Harvard Business School or Wharton, the Wharton School. So I had to make a decision between these two. And based on culture and after having talked with a lot of students from these 2 schools, I decided that I want to go to Wharton. And in fact, I did not even apply to Harvard Business School because I was so interested in going to Wharton. I did apply to some other schools, but I was fortunate enough to get accepted at the Wharton Business School, so I just went there.
Okay, thank you. So you said you have visited lots of school for campus visit.
No, Saka-san. I just did talk with a lot of students from different business schools on Skype, online, on phone. But if other people, if the aspiring students, if they have time and resources, I would recommend them to visit the campus to feel the feel of the campuses.
So if the applicants have resources and time, do you recommend campus visits?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so the next we move on to the preparation for MBA. What the key to success, and so how long did you take for MBA application preparation?
Okay. So, like frankly speaking, I took more time in doing research of the schools. So I spent around 2 to 3 months in doing the research for the schools. This includes looking at, I mean, initially when you start looking at rankings, but that's not the most important thing. You just go to the websites of the different business schools, see or try to find out what the difference is in different business schools. So, for example, the pedagogy is different. Harvard Business School mainly uses case studies, and Wharton, for example, is not exactly half-half, but kind of half-half of lectures and case studies. And some different schools might have different philosophy of how they teach to their students. So you can do this kind of research, and then you can also have some preferences based on cities or areas. I mean, not all the schools are interested in US business schools, for example. So you can also do some research on European business schools or in some other areas. India has some really good business schools as well. Japan has some really good business schools. Even China has some really good business schools. So this kind of research, which area you want to go into, what is the difference in pedagogy of different business schools? Fees might be an important criteria for students. So that can be another part of your research. So I spent around 2 to 3 months in doing this kind of research. And then, as I said, like I had some schools in my mind. And after I had decided on which schools I want to get into, I started doing some preparation for GMAT. So I studied around 5 weeks for GMAT. It's a bit short time, I understand. But if you spend enough time, I think it's enough to score a good score in GMAT. And then while doing this, I was also thinking of how to present myself as a good candidate for different business schools, right? So it's not only about what you want to learn at business schools. It's also about what you can contribute to the business school. Right? So if you think about it, for example, at Wharton, there are around 850 students, and they come from different parts of the world. You can think of them as the cream of the brightest people in the world, right? So when you join a class, it's also important what you contribute there. It might not be exactly during the class, but when you meet with your friends, when you discuss things with your friends, how can you contribute to that, right? So I was thinking this also. So if I just summarize research of the school and then preparation for GMAT, and then at the same time thinking of what you want to learn and how you can contribute to the MBA program that you want to get into. So this is the kind of preparation that you need to do to be a successful candidate for an MBA program.
Hey, thank you. So you did a lot of research before the preparation process.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I think it's very important because you're going to spend a lot of money and you're going to spend
Mm.
1 to 2 years of your life in an MBA program. So I think it's very important that you get into the right business school that fits with
Mhm.
you. Yes, so I would definitely recommend students to do a lot of research to find the best suitable business school for
Mm.
themselves.
And
And
finally, sorry.
sorry, yeah, just last point, but and then finally, after you've done everything, all part of your research, the GMAT and which, how you can contribute it, etc. Then the most important thing is to write it down, right? Because most of the applications, MBA applications, they ask for, obviously, resume is important, but essays are very important part of the application process also.
Mm-hmm.
So jotting your uh, thought process, writing down your thought process is actually one of the most important parts of the MBA application program.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And you finally applied to Wharton and also Harvard, or
Sorry, actually, when I was filtering down, Harvard and Wharton were two of my top candidates, but I did not apply to Harvard Business School because finally I wanted to get into Wharton.
okay. So after your research and
Yes,
some chat with alumni or a student, you decided to
yes,
apply for Wharton.
yes,
Thank you. And okay. So, and so as you said, the essay
yes,
is most important part, isn't it?
yes, definitely. So it's actually, how can I say, it's the whole application, it's the whole package. So even if you get 800 out of 800 in GMAT, that will not get you into the top business schools. If, for example, your resume is excellent and you have some good companies, good universities, and good experiences on your resume, but if you get really bad GMAT score, that will also not get you into one of the top business schools. Essays alone will not get into top business schools. So it's the whole package, right? And it should be a balance of all these three. So if you have less time, just try to polish all three aspects of the application process. If you have a long time, then it just makes your things a little bit easier. But overall, it's the whole package. It's the resume, it's your experiences, and it's the GMAT score, and it's the essay also. Essay is also a very important part of the application process. So just don't spend too much time on GMAT. Just don't spend too much time on resume. Just don't spend too much time on the essays. Spend equal time in all aspects of the application process.
Yay, thank you. So at the end of this session, could you share your message to the future MBA applicants or who are considering applying to MBA?
Yes, definitely. Actually, it's an interesting thing, but when I came to Japan, I did not have a lot of alumni here. I had a couple, but so when I came to Japan, I helped a lot of other Indian students come to Japan also because I thought they should not face all the difficulties that I have faced in Japan. So I have helped more than 40, 50 students from India who came to Japan and their life in Japan. And this is same. MBA application is the same. I feel like it's not very difficult. It's at the same time, it's not very easy either. So if you get some good mentoring, definitely things become easier. And I would say most important thing, because you're going to spend 1 or 2 years of your life, do a lot of research. It doesn't have to be US, it can be Europe, or it can be Japan, it can be India. So do a lot of research to find the best business school that fits you and your personality and your goals. And then spend equal amount of time on your resume, on GMAT, and your essay, for the application of the MBA. And I thought my MBA experience was worth it, all the time, all the money, and it can help you achieve your future goals. It did for me. So, and it did for all the other people I know. So I'm sure if you find the school that fits you and your goals, it can definitely help you in achieving your career goals. So do not fear, and all the best to all the MBA applicants. And I look forward to helping them in their endeavor to go into the business of their choice.
Yay. Thank you. So thank you for today's session. Next time, I would like to ask about MBA life and career as well. Othe has advisors who are well versed in both overseas and Japanese MBA. So please feel free to consult with us anytime. And we are offering admission consulting, and also before admission consulting, we are discussing about your future career plan. And our first students are accepted to liberal colleges and graduate school in the US and also in Japan. And we are offering affordable full individual support, and it is about 1/3 the cost of others. So through thorough and speedy advice via Skype and online chat, so you can receive our service anywhere in the world. And as we said, best resume and best essay on extracurricular activities is very important in MBA applicant process. And we have support lots of applicants successfully for these MBA application compiling and also interview preparation. And also we have offered lots of test preparation. If you need GMAT, GRE, or TOEFL, IELTS, or some other English requirements, please let us know. And our result is our student got accepted from top business school in the world: Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Columbia, and Wharton, UC Berkeley, UCLA. And also we have offered college admission for liberal arts colleges in Oxford, Cambridge, and also Asian school, Thinger, Beijing, or NUS, HKU, and so on. So if you want to consult your career or MBA application or job hunting, please feel free to consult with us. Okay. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much, Sakasan.
Thank you. So see you for the next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.